All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the stream. CWX here. We're playing Chasm. We got a full belly. Real quick before I forget, video credit right here. This is the music we're listening to. Buy beats. There's the playlist there for you. So we're coming off a hot 119 PR last night or yesterday. It was my first run with this new iPad software. What's it called? Hopefully this doesn't mess it up. Sandy Pad. Sandy Pad, I like that better. I was using Frame Perfect, didn't really like Frame Perfect. And I'm just running this into a capture card because when I was using Splitter on Mac OS, anytime I couldn't get global hotkeys to work, so anytime I tried to split, it would just lose the Chasm window focus. So yeah, we're gonna get into this. Let me make sure I got everything ready here. So yeah, I think it's gonna be hard for me to beat 119. I had a pretty lucky run. I got, one warp scroll. I got just enough what I needed in time, and I had a warp scroll to use right after the lantern, and I had a lucky scroll to farm the claymore and some venisons off an armored kobold. And yeah, we just didn't really make any routing mistakes. We did have a couple tough platforming sections. There was in the gardens. I had a nymph that was harassing me pretty good. Lost a few seconds there, and same, I had to redo some of those platforms that move in and out of the wall. So those would be areas to improve. Let's see here, what else? And generally just kind of better platforming. There's a few micro flubs. And then the other thing is, I feel like, yeah, we used all of our food, but we had about 147 HP left when we defeated, here, let's actually go look at the game file real quick. I think it was S9 here. So I think we had a warp scroll to use. I'm trying to think in that run where if I knew I was going to have an extra warp scroll. I don't think I got it until the temple. I think a good place to use it would be after the first water switch. So you go up the central spire in the gardens, then down to the first water switch by the foot statue. And then you could warp right there. No, because you don't want to use it right there because you got to go back. Unless on the way in. Yeah, actually in the way in, if you open the warp or the teleporter, and then after you hit the water switch, use the warp scroll, because you need to have that gate open to get back to the temple. So that could work. So that'd be like after the lantern, after that switch, and then after the Titan, I think are the three most desirable places to warp. And then if you have another one after the Shaman, which I did in this run, I think that's the least time saved. I'm going to try and focus more on not picking any of these items up. I don't want to pick up any topaz, ruby, emerald, or sapphires or diamonds. And I don't want to pick up ingots or tokens or flower bags. All of those these just clutter up your inventory. So that's something I'm going to focus on. When you sort by type, I wonder exactly how it does that. Now I'm curious. I'm gonna go check another file. I guess I may try and use that more. I never noticed that in the top right. Sort by type. So what else am I really trying to focus on? In killing less enemies, like I said, I think we killed a little too many enemies. I think in the temple is probably the area I had the biggest time save. So this time we actually have split save to our app. Segment time. So from the double jump to beating Shaman was 10 minutes, which is pretty good actually. I was running loops one time farming diamonds, and I could do all 3 areas in the temple in about 8 minutes, going as fast as I could, and that's when I was severely over leveled, or not severely over leveled, but higher leveled than I would be in a speed run. Yeah, just before we get going, I really want to just think a little bit more. I guess I can start building the seed. Hopefully my audio is good. Check something else here. Cool, looks like we're good in live. Oh, another thing I kind of noticed is I think there are some places where I could go faster by, like in the keep, by jumping down, dropping down through the platforms. I had some spots where I was just eating some landing lag, where I think if you could just quickly jump down platform to platform, you'll never have any landing lag. Yeah, I think just having more awareness at the end of the game, if we're high enough level or not, I think we can beat Ulok level 29, kind of depending on if we have combat belts or leather or anything else, like kind of boosting our stats. I need to get better with the knife against Ulok. That's another thing I think that could work better, is because I think you can just defeat him in fewer cycles. I have gotten a little bit better, but Ulok and Shaman are just, I think I get better at those boss fights. I haven't really grinded them out too much like I have the first 3 bosses. And Trell is always pretty easy. We don't get the chest after Trell, we just get the pendant. There's that other ring. Usually it's not helpful. I think I farm enough of the right enemies earlier in the game where I have 2 accessories that are going to be more useful than the one that's in that chest. Oh, coming back down from in the gardens, once you go up and unlock the upper gate, I know I want to go like left at some point, but it's not till I reach the very bottom. So I'm pretty sure there's typically 2 instances. So like once you're coming back down, it's down, right, then left, down and then left. I think I usually end up going into a room I don't need to there, but we're getting kind of into the nitty gritty now. I think the biggest time saves are going to be cutting out the number of enemies we kill. Oh, I'm gonna go try it real quick right now, actually. There's a skip. There's a skip in the keep. Because I do the one before you enter the temple. There's a skip there where you can wall jump and then parachute back to the ledge. But I've never tried this one in the keep. I don't even have the warp open in the temple. I never even went in there. I don't think you need to. And maybe going to less save points is another thing. Let's go look in this chest anyway, see if it actually would have helped us. Maybe it would have. Well, first, let's equip it and then look at our combat belts. So that one's better. So we did have one combat belt that was better than the other, so let's look at these. So dang, that jewel ring did help us. Wow. I don't know if it would have been legendary when we went to pull it, because our luck is significantly higher now than it would have been at that point in the game. So a 7 buff to luck and a 3 buff to attack is pretty good. But let's go try that one platform section. Uh-oh. Did I break my controller? Okay, my controller was kind of broken there. I keep dropping it. But it looks like it's working now. That's concerning. Hopefully it's not permanently damaged. And I watched one of Maction's old runs. He said doing that transition in a backdash is optimal. So it's this room. I think you can cut off a little bit of it. You don't have double jump at that point either, so I'm gonna try and do it without double jump. Okay, that's easy enough. That's easier than the other ones, so that's another thing we can do to try and cut some seconds. Alrighty then. Where else could we cut time? Think through bone worm, bone worm. And then the lantern was pretty good. We got our claymore pretty quickly. And then we warped out. Went to the gardens. Yeah, so then that route down through the gardens. And let me think about the warps again. So you got to make sure on the way in, if you have a warp scroll there and you're planning to use it, that point's actually pretty decent to use the warp, maybe better than the Titan, because no. Well, let's see here. Let's try it. Let's test. Do some more testing here. We will time. And in this file, did we did open it. So, oh shoot, we're gonna time from the switch. We'll start the timer and we'll see how long it takes to get from the switch to where do we want to time to? This is another spot where you can use the parachute to skip. But we'll time from here to get to the upper warp room. So, bam. See, but we wouldn't have had that, but that's about the quick. See, I'm gonna try and not double jump. It's hard out of muscle memory. So that's pretty quick. It's like 40 seconds. Versus if we had just warped. And we weren't sliding at all there, so let's see from the warp point. So if we warped to here. And then there, yeah, so that saves about 20 seconds if you warp there. And then, so, but if you that's only if you're like mad loaded with warp scrolls, because the Titan one is going to be quicker. measure that. So, because we're measuring, we gotta measure, because where we're trying to go from there, from the Titan, you're trying to go to the keep. So to get from the keep, we'll just measure it from here, I guess. How long it takes to get back to the Titan room. But that doesn't really work. We gotta kind of go the other way. So we'll get there first. I'm gonna try and not use double jump. Okay, so from here back to the gate, right? So we're just gonna measure how long it takes assuming we don't have a warp scroll. Or double jump. So that takes about a minute versus then I think pretty much then we'll time how much time it takes to get to where you warp from. So 58 seconds versus 13 seconds. So you save about 45 seconds on that one, and you save 20 seconds on the other. And then the dire wasp, yeah, the dire wasp you're always gonna drop down. Alright, I think that's enough fuffing around. Alright, just for continuity, I'm going to rebuild the seed just so it's all here in one video. Okay, I think we're ready. Let me just double check everything is good to go. wear off. So we'll be able to see how we're doing on our splits this time. We have a time to run against. So thief mode, we're gonna have it increased luck, increased movement speed, auto crit hits in the backstabs. There's a little bit of screen tear right there. I don't know what that was all about. Alright, so we really know what we're doing now, so we can kind of metacognate or think less about routing and all that stuff, and maybe we can focus a little bit more. Remember, it's down right pretty much every time out of the gardens, that first warp. Maybe kill a little bit less enemies and have a little bit more, be a little more cognizant or aware of our enemy kill count, XP, and all that stuff. And mentally keeping track of what's in our inventory, I think, is a thing too. We can just pause less. Maybe have a look at the map less. So we have an apple. That room normally makes the path to Cave Troll, I think, about 15 seconds longer on average. But 455 is a positive split, so I don't know. I think I didn't kill That's like getting hung up on the bat. Okay, just bypass the bat. Summon scroll. I'm also just focusing less on money. For a while there, I was trying to route in the bakery lady. Need to kind of watch our health here. Bandanas are good. We like bandanas. Getting a little extra stat boost early in game is nice. Ah. Need to get better about. It's just such a habit to pick those up right away. Same with hitting those. Alright, go left here. The troll, I don't think will do 11 damage. I think we can get all the way to the Wendigo save point without getting hit. But we might just need to eat our apple because we got hit too much. Nice. So we're plus 15 there. So there is a way to get down there without any landing lag. I've done it before. Alright, we need to watch our health. Okay, we should be able to get a level up here. There we go. Oh baby, a scone? Woo! I don't think I've ever gotten a scone off gold chest. I've seen it in other runs before, but I've never personally gotten it. It's almost too good. Because I don't even think we'll even have close to 200 HP by the time we get to Ulok. Okay, this is always kind of tricky. So here he jumped down to the platforms. That's probably the move. So I'm just gonna go here, go to this one, down, down, down. That's a more consistent way to do it. It might be a little bit faster to zigzag your way in there. canceling the landing lag by fast falling. I'm afraid we're not going to be strong enough to beat Wendigo before he does his ceiling cycle. Let's go. Never mind. That should do the trick. You want to be doing 13 or 14 per hit, not 12. And I'm not good enough to consistently get behind him. I'm not going to save either. That's how we're going to beat our time. 18. Oh my goodness. Woo! We are buff. And I'm gonna go to starting to split as soon as I beat the bosses, because waiting for the HP potion takes too long. I think we just got a standard Wendigo claw though. We didn't get a buffed one. We did yesterday. We should still be able to hit that guy in 3 hits. Nice. It might have been 2 hits. So we're gonna 2-hit guys in here. That really helps. We only have one accessory though. I think. Just that one piece of leather, so we do kind of want to go for more leather. Somehow we're behind, even though we had a quicker Wendigo fight itself, but just overall we got behind. It's only a few seconds. Okay. I normally don't get hit by that. I think because I hesitate. Nope. That was a revenge kill. He hit me, I had to get him back. Is this already the feather room? No, this is right though. Pretty sure it's up here though. Could be wrong. I think this is up to the feather. Nope, I think that was right. Alright, we need to watch our HP. Oh my gosh, we're getting crazy frame drops and screen tear right there. Sucks. $23 HP is not ideal. Sometimes the flies in this room are pesky. I feel like we're killing less enemies, but somehow it's still behind. Maybe it's just the seed, but... See, little platforming clubs like that we need to eliminate. Okay, this is a room I particularly don't love because there's one spike platform with the specter hanging around. This one right here is kind of a hard jump. Sometimes you can mess that one up. Okay. I think we go this way. No? Yeah, that's just, I didn't know that seed. Nothing I could have done about that. I feel like this is particularly long. Oh my god. Yeah, we would have already been done with the devil by now. That was just a long room. I just don't think this is our seed. But it's okay, we're kind of just establishing more of a baseline. Maybe we can make it up by playing better in later game and not killing as many enemies. Again, I think, yeah, it's just a less familiar seed. So 6 cups, 6 cups, 7 swords, and 6 stars. 7 swords and 6 on the others. 7 swords. 7 swords, 6. 7 swords, 6. Seven swords, 6. Should we save? No. Because we're not going to get hit. No! I guess we're just gonna do without the bone armor. It's the risk we took. I can't believe it. We had to make up time. Not having the bone armor stinks. And I don't really have mapped out not having the bone armor is really tough. We're 22 minutes in and we're behind. Do we stick to the run? I think we maybe restart. And we don't have any luck scrolls either to farm the cobalt. We'll play through to the start of the gardens, I guess. And see. I mean, this should be the same split because this doesn't change seed to seed. We got hit on the Bone Devil. Yeah, I think we gotta restart. We're just gonna you just can tank a lot more hits and stuff when you have that bone armor. Oh man. If we get a claymore in passing, it might be worth. And maybe it'll be good. It'll force us to not get hit as much. And slow us down. We don't. The armor is only useful if you're somebody who gets hit. So we're just not going to get hit. No warp scroll. Yeah, this is just not good. Not good, guys. We do have a luck scroll, actually, don't we? No, we don't. Yeah. You hate to see it. Alright, before we start, I'm just gonna stretch a little bit, stand up. Okay, we're back. We're back. I need to start waiting to build the seed because okay, here we go. Another attempt. I wasn't having a good run there. Got hit by the bone worm and didn't save. I think the Wendigo one you definitely just should not save because at this point I should not be getting hit by Wendigo, and you know, we had a bandana and some of that other stuff on that run, but no scrolls, no luck scroll, no warp scroll. If you want the Claymore, a luck scroll is pretty critical. Otherwise, it's just going to take way too much time farming the armored kobolds. We were just hitting positive splits the whole way through. I think it was only about 10 seconds behind, but again, no scrolls in hand. By the time we got the lantern, it was just not the best. So hopefully this one will be better. And I just didn't like the build, I don't know. There was a lot of mine carts, and I had a couple areas that just were really unfamiliar. Oh, come on. We were really good up to that point. I don't know what was up with that. No topaz. Oof, I wasn't sure if I was gonna make it. Pretty clean so far. Oh, baby. Legendary bandana, yes, please. Should have just killed the rat. That's no fun. I'm still going for the gloops because they can drop pot pie, right? Oh my god. Alright, we had an advantage there. Yeah, that's how you do it. You gotta jump to that next platform and then down to one of the other ones. It's pretty tough. So, yeah. Yeah, we definitely didn't handle our business as well as we could have through there earlier with that rat. Why does this not feel like the correct way? This doesn't seem right. Okay, I guess it was. Okay. Hopefully we get a level up before Bone Devil. That's what we needed. We got a warp scroll and a luck scroll in hand, so we're set. Let's not mess this up. 5 cups, 8 swords, 5 stars, 8 swords. Eight swords, 5. 8 swords, 5. Almost messed that up. Okay. Alright, we will safety save this time. Oh. Those guys just take too long to take down because they're invulnerable. They do have a piece of gear that's valuable, but they don't give very much XP and they take too long. Yeah, if you just walk off that ledge rather than jump, you don't have landing lag. Alright, hopefully we have a good build here on the crushers, because sometimes there's more crushers than others. Ah. We're ahead of pace. We should have killed that other mushroom while we had luck active. Probably could have got another mushroom. Alright, I think this is where we go up. To the left, and we keep going up and to the left. That was just an unlucky spawn with the... I thought I could make it. We need to get a level up soon. Didn't particularly want to CB there, but that takes some pressure off. And then here, this was a particularly long way to the foot statue. I don't even know if I'm going the right way. I'm not. No. Shit. I knew something fell off. It's okay. We're still ahead of pace. So here is where, yeah, maybe, no, you can't warp unless you get it on the way in. We didn't have a warp anyway, but for future reference, that's something to note. Is if you are planning to warp there, which you do get like 20 seconds. gotta get this teleporter open on your way in. So now we go up to the dire wasp. Pretty sure is this way. Give me a helm. Come on. Damn it. Here, I don't know. I don't recognize this. I'm gonna try this way. I think I did it right, but man, that was not familiar. Oh boy. Wow. This is the worst we've ever done on Dire Wasp. Just die already. If I have to eat another piece of food, I'm going to flip it. I think on the way down over here, you can grab the vines, and that's a little bit quicker. Again, you can cancel some landing lag. Let's see if I can do it. Nope. I think that's the first time I've ever actually backdashed properly through that room. We're dropping frames. Bone armor coming in clutch here. This looks right. don't have very much healing, but we can pretty much beat this guy without getting hit. Ah! Not doing very much damage. Would have liked to have had the Titan Hammer. We'll get that down. We'll definitely get that down better. That's how we're gonna get quicker cycles on Shaman and Ulok. So now we need to go back to the keep, and we gotta go all the way back up through the mines to that teleporter room. Unless we get a warp scroll here, which I think is probably best to use it than anywhere else later. Alright, so hopefully we don't have a confusing time getting to the feather. Sometimes it can be tricky. Because you gotta cut back left, but sometimes the way it's set up, it's confusing. There's like 2 ways it's set up that I know. Either it's a spire, or always run from spiders, that's the rule. We're gonna go this way. Nope. Don't think it's that way. Why am I feeling like I missed it? Damn it. It was this way? If it was this way, I'm gonna be kind of confused. I just have not seen this. Because this looks like a chest room. It is a chest room. Wow, we were just all kinds of turns around. So usually the fork to the black feather is not past that gate. But maybe sometimes it is, I guess. Well, there goes this seed. Should I heal? Probably should heal. You live and you learn, I guess. And I knew that could happen too sometimes. This guy. Oh man. We had such a good run going. Maybe it is always after this. That's a learning moment. Maybe I could have swore you don't have to do that room before you get to the black feather. You have to go this way too. They trick you. Oh, man. Is it this way? Oh man. Wow, this is really far to the feather than normal. I hope it's this way. I'm pretty sure it is. Wow, it's gonna have to be a big backtrack too. It's not even here. And there was a warp scroll. We didn't open the gate back here. I didn't realize I was so close to a level up. I don't know what I was supposed to do there. Nice, the bone armor is protecting us. Well, that is a major bummer about that path to the Black Feather. I thought that might be an issue. Hate those spiders. Oh my goodness. That was that was tough right there. Alright, hopefully we can just make it to the trail. Yeah, see, normally this room is like on the way to black feather. Okay, I think there is a save point on the other side of this. This is kind of a trickier bell tower sequence here. All right, we're gonna try the skip here. I don't think it's that tough. Nice. A little worried about the water there for a second. This could be tough. Nice. Now we don't need to save. My blood was pumping there for a second. Okay, Trill, come on now. Alright, we're back to 6 seconds ahead, even with that flub. I don't really want to look for the ring, but I guess I will. I'll take the time, even though it's like, oh, I'm only up 6 seconds. And we won't look until we do the thing with Ulok. Or maybe we need to do it sooner, I forget. We're not doing great on consumables. So hopefully we go ham on the hams in the temple here. That would be ideal. I'm going the right way, right? I'm not. I went the wrong way again. Yeah, we've just gotten tricked a few times on this seed. Ah, great. Let's see what we got. Yeah, we're gonna kill every single one of these guys we see. Get some hand, because if we're gonna have any chance against Ulok, I think we're gonna need it. Maybe we'll get a good amount of consumables here in the crates. I think these are the only guys that drop health items in this whole place. Sometimes there's cheese here, which is good. I need to figure out how to do this skip. So you can go down there instead of going up and around here. Behind 30 seconds. Yeah, a minute 14 slow there. We just are not having a good run. Tonight wasn't our night. Yesterday was the big day. I don't even really want to play this run out, but we're gonna. Just for the practice, I guess. We're not playing well. We're kind of fatigued. I can feel it. Just don't feel up. Nope, wrong way. And we would have had another level if it hadn't been for the bats being so pesky. Yeah. We would want the level up right going in here, but no luck scroll either. Just try and get better not taking hits from the shaman, not necessarily trying to beat him quickly. Yeah, we do not have very much food. Maybe we'll get some, I think this, we can still get some beef stews off the grill. We'll just even see if we can beat Ulok. Not good. What's up? Goodness gracious. We have 8 HP. It's ridiculous. What level are we? 30. So we're not even under leveled, man. I'm gonna save because it doesn't even matter. No luck scroll. We have 3 hams, and a cheese, and a beef stew. I don't think that's enough. We'll try. Ah! I don't know how to avoid that attack. Alright, that's it. That's all she wrote. Barely got him, so we could have done it. $125. I mean, we were through Titan, we were ahead. But then, yeah, we got behind on the feather. And then just had a really bad end game. I was just out of stamina. Yeah, just wasn't playing good. Just kind of crashed. So I'm going to end the stream there. Thanks for tuning in. Actually, we'll let it roll. Nine new best segments. I think overall we did do better on platforming, and I guess we did. I guess we just didn't do as well on our drops. I'm trying to think, if you're gonna pop the luck scroll on the armored kobolds, you might as well. Try and get as many venisons as you can. Because you get a drop nearly every kobold you kill. So, because I think the run, not the 119, but the run before that, I had like 10 venisons. We were ahead at Troll, even at Bomberman, ahead at Wendigo, ahead at the Glove. Yeah, we did fall a little behind at the Devil. But we were good through Bone Worm, Shin Guards, Lantern, Claymore we got quickly. Got to the Garden quickly. We had a great Gardens, actually. But then, yeah, we had to backtrack twice for the Feather. And then, yeah, we made some of it back up on the Parachute. Yeah, we really slammed through. I think that's a good learning from takeaway from this one, is in the Lantern part of the Catacombs. Just try and go fast. I think I always get scared about poisoning, but it's fine, because you'll be able to survive it and get to the save point in the keep. So I think that's actually a good learning. And then, yeah, we made up even more time going to Death, and we got ahead by Trell. So really our keep was good. It was just all in the temple. Because if we could have just had a good run to the Feather, yeah, we were 4 minutes slower on that than yesterday. Yeah. It had potential, but we just didn't play quite good enough. No warp scroll, right? Or we did have the warp scroll after the kobold. And we kind of got duped in the, even though we got duped in the Yeah, that spot up by Dire Wasp and the spot going into the temple, both those we did extra rooms and still we're positive splitting there, so that's a good sign. And then the keep, I'm looking at that room. I want to go look at some of the other keep maps. Yeah. Good to know, I guess. Good learning. So that was after the room with the spike balls. It was after the room with the spike balls there. So you're not gonna ever cut back left until after you see the room with the spike balls. So it's always, you always do go through that room with the save point. That's just unfortunate. All right, well, thanks for tuning in. Until next time. I'd really appreciate it if you dropped a like on the video, comment, subscribe, you know the drill.